Welcome back, adventurers! Now, as promised, the winner of our last giveaway. This is again our 10 square foot Prince of the Realm map that's full color, vinyl, wet erase, whatever image you like on it, as long as you've either purchased it or designed it yourself. And our winner is Turtle Winn!
Yay!
Thank you everybody who shared and liked our video. If you didn't win this time, hey, don't get sad. We have another giveaway coming up next week from Dice Dungeons. Here's a quick little teaser. Now, we'll have that going on next week. When we left off, we were just about to head to the Baron's mysterious new building.
Which should have a cooler name than the new building, but his pit of sacrifice.
Maybe?
Yeah. There's something.
Maybe. Alright,
So
well,
we're walking with our dogs.
the entrance to this stone building is flanked by identical brass statues, each depicting a handsome man in finery. The tall iron doors...
The same handsome man?
The same handsome man.
Is it the Baron?
Right.
You haven't seen Baron.
What a handsome man.
I would think so.
The tall iron doors are marked with strange symbols, and they have large brass handles.
And we wouldn't know what those symbols are, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Nobody outside?
Nobody else?
I'll try the handles.
All right, you pull one open. It's a very new door, and so it opens very easily. And you can see before you a wide stone stair descending 5 feet into a large open chamber, dominated by a large altar in the center with red glowing candles all around, tall red candles all around the outside. This red wax making up the candles. You see black tapestries with silver designs covering every wall, and numerous chairs atop a ledge encircling 3 sides of the chamber.
I'd like to look around outside. Is there anybody who could see us?
No, I mean no one saw you go in.
Okay.
As you get down here, you can see that there's a wooden podium as well, sitting at the far side of the larger chamber, and a large iron door behind it makes up the only other exit to this room. That door opens, and a woman comes out, and she looks at you and says, "Well, hello. I don't recognize any of you. Are you from out of town?"
We are, yes. We're merchants. And these are our slaves here. We just were new to town. We wanted to check the sights, really. Ain't that right, Trafe?
Yep.
Well, welcome then to the hall.
Oh, this is the hall.
The hall, yes.
Oh, hall. The hall?
The hall.
Or the
yes,
hole?
No, it's the hall is what we call it.
Ah, accent. Sorry. What was your name?
She, for a moment, just sort of laughs, and she comes forward and says, "I'm Shiara."
I heard that. Shiara. My name is Donner, and
Trafe.
this is Trafe. Man, a few words, that one.
And Nullius, by the way, is waiting outside.
Yeah,
He
right.
he
He
was...
didn't want to go in.
Well, he just figured he'd stay out there just in case it was a place you weren't supposed to be.
Fair enough.
Sure.
So, that way he could be like, "There's no one in there."
Very convincing him.
Definitely not a dwarf, and 2 elves, and a guy named Donna.
Definitely
Don't
didn't
worry about
torture
it.
someone last night.
I'd like to use Divine Sense.
Okay. You can see, by the way...
There's a little tiny undead. I know that one already.
yeah, there's a little tiny undead. You also sense 2 somethings.
2 somethings.
Don't know what they are, but they're definitely pinging your divine sense.
Where are they?
And they are in the next room.
Like where she came from?
Yeah.
Is it like a friendly pinging? Or...
No, it's just a something, and I don't know what it is, but it's pinging, and that's bad.
Great.
Because that means it's an unworldly something. Is the area hallowed or desecrated?
It is desecrated.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, probably an unfriendly pinging.
Great.
Not a helpful pinging.
So, Lady Shiara, this is the hall, but the hall of what?
Simply the hall will do.
All right, what happens here?
Here is where we pay homage to the others.
Where are they?
The others are all around us. And, for those lucky enough, within us.
So this is like, a
Church.
temple of some kind.
Yes, this is the hall.
All right. Well, I would
And
like...
you can see, by the way, she has a necklace that has a small rat skull that has been adorned with horns to make it look like a goat's skull.
How lovely. I love that piece.
Thank you. I crafted it myself.
Goat.
Yes, goat. Very good.
Very pretty. Make sure not to show my dog Crag. He'll snatch it right up.
Yes. The dog, by the way, when you first started to come in, was pulling and yanking. He did not want to come in here.
Really?
He's in here now, but he's like very tense.
Whoa.
Can I make an animal handling on this?
Sure.
Okay. Just want to see if it's getting any
Slip him a
better or
finger.
not.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
I'm trying different dice.
All right, here we go.
That's
Crit.
Nice. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to kind of read him to see if he's getting better.
Trying to calm him down.
I really just want to... Basically, I'm trying to better our relationship. So I just want to make sure he's not going to kill me anymore.
He currently doesn't look like he's gonna kill you. Currently, he's tense, but as you sort of
I do
stroke
wanna
his
calm
back,
him down.
he sort of lessens his tension for a moment.
It's okay, Craig. I'm right here, buddy. Right. Well, I like new things. Traveling all over the place. I need to know what you do.
What we do?
Right. Well, this is a fairly new place. It looks very rich, opulent, like it was just built.
Fresh.
Very fresh.
Yes. Yes, very fresh indeed.
So these others, what are they like?
Well, there are old gods, and there are others. Your gods, and others.
So new.
Loramir,
Mhm.
and others. The others, though we do not know them, not intimately, they are the only gods that give us true blessings in this world. Loramir provides not to his followers but tricks. Sleight of hand, maybe some healing. Those powers of the old faith of men, what have they ever given us? Beyond a warlock king? No, the others work true miracles in the world.
Forgive me, Lady Shiara. It seems like you came from the old gods and you came to the others.
Yes, yes, once I was a priest of Loramir. But alas, I could not heal those who most needed it.
What happened?
Nothing happened. Simply people would come to me and I did not have the power to heal them. But the others provide that power.
They give you the power to heal.
And many, many others.
Others as in...
Other powers. I can see how this would be confusing. Yes.
I'm new, forgive me.
Just as I understand. All of us are new to the others. Very little is known. Soon perhaps we will name them and count them.
I bet you're really excited about that.
I suppose.
Now, Trafe, what do you think about all this? I think he likes it.
Yes. The gods of dwarves are famously absent.
Very intriguing.
As are all gods. But not so with the others.
Stone's hard.
I'm sorry?
Stone. It's hard.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Stone's cold. stones far.
Ah, yes, I understand now what you say.
Unyielding stone is, yeah?
But the others are all around us. They are here with us every day.
Stone's a clumsy metaphor if you don't worship those gods, I guess.
So, I'm sorry for asking so many questions, by the way.
No, that's what I'm here for.
Well, I know this is a new following of the others that we don't know about, but surely you have a following. Where are the people?
Well, the people here are slowly coming around. Some fear any heathen religion, as they call it. But it was the Baron who actually introduced this faith to me. Yes, he purchased our altar for us from a shipping merchant, I believe, from Elfshore.
Where would that be?
Elfshore is it's one of the 5 major fiefs of it's one of the basically duchies
Oh yeah, that's
of
right.
Thrimicath.
Okay. That's very generous of him.
Yes, it was a faith that he had encountered in his travels, and when he returned here, he wanted to bring it with him.
Where?
Where? I'm sorry?
From where? Where did
Where
he
was he
find the
traveling?
religion?
Oh, I do not know where all the Baron has travelled to, but I know he spent several years at sea. He was helping the king's navy, I believe, in combating some sort of corsair king or other.
Thanks, Morgan. You're a pal.
And so the Baron practices this with you, or does he come down
yes.
here?
The Baron knows more about it than I am afraid, though he has denied any practical position in the priesthood. For now, I am simply learning.
Oh, I'm sure he has a lot of other business to attend to. But, so you're saying that we could probably find more about it if we talk to him?
Yes, I'm sure you could.
Could we? Is that possible?
Could you speak with him? Well, I'm not the person to ask about that.
Oh, well, I didn't know if you were on any personal...
No, I simply help him interpret some of the things he sees and the will of the others.
How?
I simply do. The others give great gifts. For me, the gift of sight. I can see the dreams of others. Tell me, what do you dream, Trafe?
What do you dream, Trafe? Isn't it just like nothing?
Forge.
Forge, huh? That's exciting.
Gold. Ale.
A man of simple taste, then.
Dwarf.
Yes, dwarf indeed.
Maybe typical, but that's good stuff. That's good stuff. He can't help
stereotype,
it. He can't help it. Listen. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Maybe you can
Tour.
bless us a tour or something?
A tour, you have seen all there is to see.
Oh, no rooms or anything?
Yes, I do have my bedroom behind here.
Oh, not like a private confession room or something?
No. Simply living quarters.
Right. And so that's the room that she's gesturing to. That's where I felt the
Right.
the unfriendly pings.
Obviously, I'm going to do insight at first to see if I can figure that out by
All right.
myself.
Wow.
Yeah, that was not bad.
That die is working.
So you probably saw me kind of look that way
19.
when she was looking at you and just kind of like
It's just, all there is to see back there is my birds.
What kind of birds do you have?
I have 2 crows.
I love birds.
Crows. Very peculiar. They're kind of hard to train, aren't they?
Yes, the Baron says that crows though are
My friends.
she says the Baron says that the others speak through the crows, and so we keep them here to help interpret their will.
So they're divine beasts.
Yes. Divine indeed.
Very nice.
I'm gonna cast message on you.
Look at that.
I'm gonna cast message on
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. That's his name. Yeah.
Trafe.
I was stuck on Trafe. And I'm gonna ask you, what have you found?
Can I respond?
Yep.
I think 25 words.
25 words or less.
Is that right for message?
Yeah.
I think so.
I thought that was sending.
This is
Oh, maybe it is.
Oh.
This
maybe.
is a temple to a dark faith. There is something here that touches my senses. Evil, but I don't know its form.
Right, so
This place is cursed.
thank you very much, Lady Shiara.
Of
Like
course.
I
She
said-
bows her head.
Is there any benedictions?
No, none of that here.
Well, I feel blessed. Let's go. Thank you very much.
May you walk among the others.
I sure hope so. Let's go.
Yep. And we'll go.
Just sort of last look around.
As you exit, Noia says,
It appears we were allowed inside. There was no need for me to stand watch.
We are on foreign sides. Could have come in.
That was exhausting.
What did we discover?
That is the vilest pit of darkness I've been standing in. Ever.
What did you see?
The whole place is... It's desecrated. Sacrifices or the worship of a dark power. There was something in that next room. Two things. Unfriendly, I'm sure, malign, but
he turns and he places a hand on the wall, and his eyes glaze over for a moment, and then they snap back, and he says,
Maligned is putting it lightly. That is a sense I have never felt before.
There wasn't a way to get in.
short of using violence.
Right.
It is no undead, nor is it fairy. It is something other.
Should we come back in the
Quite
night?
better.
Should we come back in the night? Maybe she wasn't here.
I'd imagine it is in the night that they do most of their work.
She has bedrooms there. She doesn't leave, I think.
If that's her bedroom.
We can try. If all else fails, I suppose we could catch her unawares, though she wasn't armoured, that I could see. Was she?
no.
Yeah.
Let's check around back, see if there's another entrance.
Right.
There is not.
You check.
That's easy.
There is no entrance. You do not find the trap or entrance.
How tall is this building?
Well, it's not too tall. I'd say maybe,
15, 20 feet.
yeah, maybe. I mean, if that. It's a
Okay.
one-story building, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It's important.
Would you get guns?
2 and 12.
Ooh.
Important.
Do I get it?
I was out of characters.
Meta inspiration.
I keep
How was she supposed to do that in character?
Well, there's no way. You can't get inspiration for that one.
Been doing Donner so long, I just can't help it. I keep wanting to do Donner, but I can't right now.
Please.
No.
Uh,
The other one.
can we? What do we do? We need to get into that room, I think. The
I
Baron.
don't know that I want to go into that room.
Well, if you want to get rid of the desecrated things, we
Oh,
have
I
to.
do.
Out of character, I totally want to. In character,
But-
I don't think I do.
Those things, whatever we find in them, they cannot be allowed to leave. And we cannot find ourselves swearing fealty to them.
You hear a bell ringing. Bung, bung,
I kind of
bung.
want one.
And you see up on top of the watchtowers, a guard is pulling a big bell. And you see that the other 3 watchtowers all take up as well. I believe there's 3. Let me double check that.
While that's
Oh.
happening, I say, I did that for the safety of my companions.
There's actually 6 watchtowers.
You're just yelling it at me over the bell.
I did that!
Is there a townsperson just kind of wandering?
Actually, now you can see people sort of milling out of their houses, all heading towards the square.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
So can I grab the nearest person and say, what do those bells mean?
Teeny town
He
meeting.
shrugs and he says, "I don't know, but it sounds like we need to head to the square." Normally the Baron sounds those whenever he's got something he wants to share.
Right.
Oh.
Timothy!
Probably the hanging.
Come on!
The death of his son is probably a...
Nephew.
Whatever. Same thing.
Of my son, nephew, cousin, acquaintance, half-breed.
My son, nephew?
Servant, my dog.
So you head to the center of town. And you can see standing sort of on this, where the gallows are. He's standing up on the gallows, but there's no one there to be hung. You see a man walking back and forth. Oh, I'm sorry. And you do see that there are a pair of young men in peasant wool hanging from a gibbet nearby. Their faces black and tongues lolling from gaping mouths. A stern-faced man with long flowing hair and gleaming plate mail climbs atop the gallows near the gibbet, and the murmuring crowd goes silent.
Does
He
he match the
announces-
statues that we saw outside the
He
hall?
does not.
Okay.
He announces in a gravelly voice,
These men attempted to climb over the wall last night to flee their responsibility to aid in the defense of their town and their baron. For those of you who might also harbor such traitorous thoughts, know that the baron has decreed that this same fate awaits any who try. That is all.
he steps down from the crate and starts heading toward the keep. As he does so, you can see a couple of the soldiers who are sort of standing nearby in this crowd, loading something into a trebuchet right here in the center of town.
Wow.
And one of them says,
And thus the fate of all who oppose the mighty baron.
and one of them slashes the rope of the trebuchet, and it flings up something glowing and burning, and it goes hurtling towards the Thrym outside the town. A bunch of people go running up towards the wall so they can look over, and you can see...
Can I go too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You can see, if you head up there, this sticky substance just sort of slam down into several places as it sort of spreads and burn through the armies. You can see soldiers being melted in their armor, screaming and crawling away as the lines of the siege forces reorganize themselves.
As Stormy leaps onto the table.
DM Storm again.
I think I went over to whenever that happened. I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Do we know what that stuff is called?
Yeah, it would be called alchemist fire in this one,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, it's Greek fire. You're exactly right.
Where did they get that? There's an alchemist in town, isn't there? I'm leaning close so that I can talk to you like that.
Yes, there is.
You can see that the soldiers out in the siege forces are putting out the flames, but each time the flames die down, as soon as they die down, they burn back hotter than
We're
before.
going to want to take that out of commission.
What do you propose?
It burns rather well.
You also know that when it burns back after they've put it out, that's not how alchemist fire normally works.
Yeah.
I would know that.
Yeah.
Something has been tampered with. We could use that on the Baron. If we just wanted him out.
We could. This weapon is unholy. I wouldn't support its use, I don't think.
Nullia says, "No would I."
Sorry. Stick in the mud, paladins.
Oh look,
But you just...
evil.
However, Nullius does say, "In a normal circumstance."
Ooh, we've turned Nullius from
Told you.
being lawful.
Told you he's
good.
going Oathbreaker at some
He
point.
says, "The kind of man who would turn hellfire on his enemies deserves only hellfire in return. We should find this substance."
Shouldn't be too hard.
There's an alchemist in town.
Argith, I think the lucky man at the inn said his name was.
Well, let's go see.
Sorry, but I feel it's less than torturing people.
I look over at the men, the men who were just burning alive, crawling away from the flames, and say, "Do you?"
Well, maybe not, but it's a little bit different.
At least this time we know the man had it coming.
It's not him in particular, it's his house. So he has a potential to escape. If he doesn't, that's on him.
Alright, well, you head to an odoriferous shop. Odoriferous.
Wow.
There's all kinds of
The
odors.
sign over the shop reads Argith's Alchemy Shop and depicts a bottle full of bubbly liquid. Various
No
hissing and
smoking.
fizzing sounds resonate from behind the shop door, and smoke wafts from the open windows.
I feel like I would be getting slapped in the face by the flower right now. So Sam, thinking of you.
To not go in there.
No, 'cause
Or
he'd
to-
wanna go
oh,
in
to
there.
totally
He'd
go
be
in
like,
there.
I need to be in there.
Gotta look! Does he have a no
Master.
smoking sign?
It is not.
Underneath the- oh, okay.
It is not.
He doesn't know how dangerous that is.
He just needs to happen once.
And then he'll go, yeah, I should have. If only I was still alive.
Do we see anybody?
Anyway, we go inside.
Alright, the little bell rings, and you hear, Coming! Hi! Oh! And then you hear, oh, here we go! Oh, aha! Customers!
Hello, Bernie Sanders.
Something like it.
Let me tell you.
No. He says, so, what can I do for you?
I can't not hear it now. Haley.
We're fellow merchants kind of going about the town, looking around, just checking out the wares.
Well. He says, that is interesting. And this guy has wild red hair.
Oh, okay, that's
And he's freckly face.
Young.
And he's got like basically black all over his face, and he's got this these big like goggles, and he pulls them up, and his eyes are like incredibly small, but he's got this big white area. And he goes, oh, elves? Well, I've not seen elves in some time. Oh, well,
There are
puts
service.
his goggles back on, and he says, what can I do for you?
Well, you got anything special to sell?
Unfortunately, I have. And now I'm doing the voice.
Yeah.
It's your fault, Haley. This is
Unfortunately.
he says,
Molasses.
he says, unfortunate. I hate you, Haley, because now that's what I'm picturing.
Just go Larry David and
he
just
said,
call it a day.
unfortunately, I'm giving everything I have currently to the Baron.
Which is? I don't say that.
Oh, yes. Would that happen to be what we saw in the town?
So he puffs himself up and he tugs on his overalls and he says, that is right. And he pulls out from a pocket a big cigar and he starts smoking it.
That is very impressive. Now, but that's...
Oh, thank you. Well, I had it imported from Solmath.
Well, also that...
Cuba.
But mainly for your work with the
Well,
fire.
that was nothing. I do that every day.
Oh.
Simple alchemist fire. I mix it.
Well, it's a little bit different, though. And once it goes out, it kind of comes back a little bit better, hotter, brighter, a little bit more volume, maybe.
Faster.
What did you say your trade was?
I sell yarn.
Well, you know quite a lot about alchemist fire for a yarn salesman.
Yarn
Oh,
burns.
yeah.
Yarn burns.
You gotta know the flammability.
Roll a deception.
Oh, give me a break.
But you have help because this guy's.
I'm
lying
trying.
Too.
He goes, no, that makes sense.
What did he get,
Oh,
like
good.
a 2?
That was like a 18 on
Yep, you beat him very well.
Nice.
You got a 3.
It's not that you were deceptive, he's just an idiot.
Awesome.
You
I
silly
was
Bernie
wondering,
Sanders.
I'm trying to make an alchemist fire retardant yarn. I need some for my business.
Unfortunately, it's all gone to the Baron.
Just a morsel of fire.
It's all gone to the Baron for the siege. Baron's orders, I'm afraid.
Don't have any here.
Oh, can
Well,
we talk to...
no. It's all gone to the Baron. I'll have more by the end of the day when I'm done making it, but I'm sure the guards typically arrive just before I'm done to escort it.
Listen, what if I had something you wanted? Maybe another cigar. I can have it imported.
He opens a big box. I got plenty of those.
Okay. Maybe some, of the devil's weed.
No. The Baron pays me more than I could possibly need.
Very well. 50 gold is 50 gold. What about devil's weed? Very potent stuff.
And what is that?
You put it in your pipe.
I'm sorry, I don't smoke pipes. Only cigars.
Ah, respectable man. I like it. He knows what he likes, and that I like. Trafe, I need that fire. I need it now.
Please.
He doesn't say that very often. I just want to let you know that.
Well, I appreciate the rarity, but no, I'm afraid it all goes to the Baron.
Very well. I'm very, very upset at you. Just want to let you know.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope I haven't lost you as a customer.
I think you did.
What else?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but seeing as you're just travelers, I don't feel too upset about it.
Well, you know what? What else do you have?
No, never mind. I feel
He says, I have some smoke sticks and some tinder twigs.
Make smoke, light fire.
Right. What? How much is the tender twigs?
Oh, tinder twig is, currently, I could get rid of one for 5 gold pieces.
Since you were so rude, I think I will part with them for 3.
I don't see a problem with that.
Good. Nice doing business with you.
He hands you basically like it looks just like a stick, and he hands you a rag, and he says, so, here's how it works. And it lights on fire, and then he takes the rag,
flare.
and he puts it back on the thing, he goes, it'll work 4 more times. Hands it to you.
You gypped him on the price?
I guess
yeah.
so.
How
All
much
right.
are those?
And it basically
5 gold.
functions as a torch while it's lit. You can also set things alight.
Do you mind writing that down? All right, well, can we maybe talk to the guards? See if they will part with some?
Oh, no, I'm sure the Baron has given them strict orders not to.
Right. I got
What's that thing you're doing there with your eye?
What?
That you close your eye briefly and then open it back up, and what is that?
Twitch.
Oh, I understand.
Timothy! Where's my handkerchief?
Jeremy, lick my eye clean, please.
Can I pull out a handkerchief and smack him in the face with it? But like
Like you just
looks
thrown
like-
it in from outside.
He says, whoa, some rowdy slaves you got there.
Slave! Control your slave, slave!
Spare the rod.
Goodness! I tell you what, these elves, they don't know where they come from.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they do not. That's why you've got to beat them thoroughly.
Hey, you know what? You can keep that one if you want. She look good?
Just for free?
For free.
No, ask for the
You know
alchemist
what?
fire.
She's for free.
All right, I'll take her.
All right, there you go.
Pleasure doing business.
What are you doing?
Oh, wow.
What is happening?
All right, I'm done.
What is going? I guess we're killing him now. So.
I'll find a way out.
So
He
we're-
says, do you speak common?
I say it in.
Which one's less likely for him to know? Norwegian Old Speech, Norwegian Old Speech.
I want to pick Old Speech.
Alright.
That seems like it'd be the weirdest.
Norwegian's probably the weirdest.
Okay, then I'll do Norwegian.
All right.
And I will say, I apologize, but I do not speak common. And with that response, I say, my companions are idiots, and I take it that you will not want me any longer. And I just sort of turn around.
Excuse me. You come back here. Where do you think you're going?
was very confused, and I sort of look to you all, and I look to him, and I'm like,
I left.
This is going to be more work than it's worth. She's too old to teach a new language.
No, what? No! She's free! She's free!
I step on your foot pretty hard. Oh, okay. Leave.
Leave!
I do, but I do a very obscene gesture on my way out. But like hidden, so like
Okay.
all sleight of
Roll
hand.
sleight of
that.
hand.
But like not to him, to him.
Oh,
He didn't see it.
So you and then I leave.
probably for the best. Okay.
It's an
leave
obscene gesture in Jamaica.
But whatever it would be.
It's just something weird. Oh. But you did it really stealthily. You didn't notice
What's this?
Oh.
Oh, can I do this?
Yeah, sure. You can bite your thumb.
too. By my
I
thumb.
bite my thumb.
At him, madam?
You do bite your thumb, sir, but not at him.
Oh, okay.
No, at him, not at him.
Sorry.
You do bite your thumb, sir? You bite your thumb at him,
theater.
sir.
I guess I'll leave.
Bunch of nerds.
Oh, what a pretty piece of flesh I am.
Okay, that's enough. Let's like continue.
Piece
the
of
Fancy.
Mercutio, that's something.
That didn't help at all.
Why
Did
did
not
you
even
try to
ask
give
him where
her
he
away?
delivers the fire.
I'm sorry,
He
Jimmy.
gives it to the
What?
gods. He gives it to the gods.
You
They
see
take it to the Baron.
Theo approaching, and he says, "Hello, I believe we are." Wrong voice. He says, "Hello, I believe we are staying in the same inn. Is that correct?"
Is this
Yep.
a ranger friend?
Yes, it is. He says,
Friend.
"If
My
you are
friend.
new to the city, you should certainly take a look at the hall. I recently came there myself. Quite interesting, the things in this hall."
Wait, son.
Yes, well, yes, quite different. But I am afraid my trade requires that I continue on. So, is there anything further you would ask of me, my fellow travelers in this strange place?
This is a handy time to have questions for him.
This would be a really good time to have taken like notes and like.
Well, I mean, I guess the basic question would be, what has he learned? I don't feel comfortable asking him that. If only we had someone in the party who could sort of speak silently to him or something.
Well, we
Oh.
can all speak Old Speech.
Well,
Or Narween.
Except him. Except Narween.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that. I
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't, so I don't care about you guys.
But
That's
you,
why I sold
can't
you.
you
I could,
also...
I could just
For
stand
free.
there and keep pointing at him, and we could just message conversation.
just look that picture of the guy like, and then the same guy like, and it's just that for 5 minutes.
Alright.
While we just stand there looking
But
at him.
then only he understands.
Right.
Yeah, but I can just relay it. That's no problem. I
We
speak
could
all languages.
just do slave speech. But then why would he be talking to us?
Yeah. Well, yeah. and
Anybody speak Somathi?
What was this?
Nope.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Nick speaks everything.
How many languages do you have?
I
Like
have
7?
10.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
foul.
what Ivo was like too.
11 actually, because I got one from my background,
Oh, nice.
and an 8 from intelligence.
Nice.
please ask him something.
Yeah.
Gosh, you speak 4 languages. That's pretty
I mean, what questions can we have for him?
Well,
I'll ask
what,
him. I'll
where did
ask
he
him
find?
Have you seen any guards moving anything?
He says back in this is in
message. Yeah.
Solmathi. Oh, in message.
Mhm.
Okay. He says back, "No guards moving anything, no, but there are certainly dark goings on in that hall. I don't think she noticed that I saw, but there was a slight stain of blood on the countertop,
The altar.
the altar. Yes."
How did you get into this message?
Sorry.
Go away.
I'll message him back and ask. What did
The
she
little
tell-
yellow boxes.
What did she tell you about
It's a
the
3-way
Any-
call.
Any
He says, nothing much. Only that it was in worship of something called the Others.
Although she did let it slip that they grant great power to their followers.
She said much of the same to us.
She told me of a man who works there in the hall. A man who had been paralyzed. He had asked his wife to end his life, but the Baron called upon him. He returned from the Baron's home on his own 2 feet. Said it was a gift of the others.
It definitely sounds supernatural, to be certain. I suppose we need to... We are currently searching for the source of this alchemist's fire. Did you catch the display?
The display, the catapult? Yes, I did. I would warrant that this is the source of the alchemist's fire.
Pointing at the sign that says Arget's Alchemy Shop.
Indeed,
With
from
all the
his
smoke
words,
coming out of it and such.
definitely the source. We would like to find where it is kept and make use of it.
Well, I did see the trebuchet was wheeled out from the Bailey.
Then it is likely the Bailey we will need to investigate, as well as the Baron's home itself.
Yes, it seems the eel path leads you there. As for mine, it leads me back to the Iron Duke, so that I can report to he and my king.
I would wish you the best of luck, but I fear that may work against our own goals.
Well, it was a pleasure to work with you. My problem for later.
Well met.
Oh,
And he says, my path leads me on.
And
Stay
he
away.
turns, and as he does so, he kind of pulls up his hood, and with an almost supernatural shifting, pass without trace, he sort of just becomes a little less noticeable, and he starts scaling.
Like Lucy and LeChance whenever he
Yeah,
say goodbye.
just goes.
he starts scaling one of the walls, and he looks back over, nods, and then he attaches a grapple hook to the wall and repels down the other side.
He's just gone. He just left.
No.
Who walks through
Take-
the streets?
Take that,
Very
Baron
common.
Guards.
Well, then I'll relay everything in our various languages.
Right.
So we know we need to go. We definitely need to go to the Baron's place.
I love that you're the odd one out, so we can't just hold speech for code.
And we can't just Narween, because...
No, neither. Do you know Norway?
I know now.
Okay.
That's the
That's
only
so
other
funny.
language I know.
I've got Orcish. He
I guess
doesn't know that one.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Well,
Karashite, yeah.
I hate to give this option again, but I could, for lack of a better word, prostitute myself to another god. See what
What?
goes.
He's offering to take up another pact, I think.
Oh,
just
by
said
the
it
way,
in the weirdest
I
possible
did forget
way.
to mention, he did suggest, he said that he had heard there were some dissenters at the lodge, and suggested you might look there as well.
Oh, okay. That is definitely something to
No, I don't think you should do that.
I can't think of another way to get past them.
Realistically, through would be our most common option.
I'm trying to find the least resistance.
Every now and again, I like you, fellow.
If he wants to cause a ruckus, fine, I can do that quite well. Mm-hmm.
Any ruckus will have to wait for now. There will be a time for it, I'm sure, but we don't want to play our hand too early.
It would be best for us to neuter our enemy before moving in on it.
Yes,
The trebuchet should be our first target.
I'm sure they have more. But yes, any that we can disable would be helpful. Though I do have to wonder, if we disable the trebuchet, won't they start looking for us in town? Perhaps it might be best to leave the trebuchet and instead take out things that would be directly in our path. once the army comes in, the trebuchet won't matter anyway.
True.
Like what? What's in our path?
Well, we could take the fire, at least. That would be helpful.
It might.
If we want to burn it, we do need it. So we wait for nightfall again till we check the Bailey out.
Well, I doubt any guards will allow outsiders that close to the castle. Going up to the Bailey, just walking up. It's not going to happen not unless we have a formal audience.
Or an escort.
What do you have in mind?
Maybe we'll convince a guard or two to lead us to the Bailey as close acquaintances. Charm them in ways.
You
Magical
work your
or-
magics?
I could make it happen. We need a bit of luck.
It works on a dragon.
Might be worth attempting.
I mean, only because you cheated.
We're going to have to get inside
He's
that
got
keep.
two.
I can cheat again.
We're going to have to get inside that keep one way or the other.
If you think you can do it, then do it.
Then we will do it.
Very well. Right in the front then.
Well,
Right now
plus
or
the
later?
lodge.
The lodge?
Dissenters.
Yes.
Dissenters are helpful to create a distraction or to flank while we go in the front.
Well, that is true.
And they could be even easier to convince to allow us to walk in. If they are with the with the Bailey already.
Perhaps. Well then, would that our cover story was that we were hunters rather than yarn salesmen.
Nullius, I do not need you to remind me.
Of what an idiot I am!
Once you're the one who says you can't really lie that well, I don't need
Yes, well, I thought that I was not a particularly good liar, and then I met you.
I just sort of nod and just very obviously like, yeah.
I
At least
think
you're not a slave.
Well,
To
come
be
along, Aline and Jimothy.
To be fair,
I think Crag is very
wait,
hungry.
Wait. To be fair, even though she is by all appearances a slave, we do have a Guaironian in our midst.
That is true.
They are expert hunters.
We can sell her again.
We're not going to sell anyone. No, this.
But
I'm
she
his
could gain
slave.
entrance.
The
He
only
gets
card
to
we have.
decide if I get sold or
I
not.
thought you were my slave. He was just
No, I was
saying-
his
He
slave.
can't keep his story straight.
What?
What?
Where am I? Who are you?
We go to the lodge.
To the lodge then. And you all head to the lodge.
We had the lodge.
You are the worst at espionage of any character.
it.
Like, a Sam
I love
character
it.
is occasionally better at
That's
espionage
saying
than this
something.
guy.
That's saying something.
I love it. I
At
like
least
the
I'm
yard
try.
story. The yard story is
A
great.
longhouse made of thick logs with a massive brick chimney
So it's a
rising from
longhouse.
the center of its roof dominates the rest of the buildings at the end of Minecart Road. Crossed hatchets and an enormous set of antlers overhang the wide door facing the road.
Hatchets.
I'm,
So there
I'm
you go.
very happy.
Hunters and axes.
This is a
You're
good,
home.
This is a great place. It's a great place.
If only you weren't like a weird mortician.
Or like a slave.
Do they allow
Oh yeah.
Do they allow
That is
pets
kind of-
inside?
Well, you can
Like the
you
slave,
can actually
or-
hear the sounds of dogs from
Yay!
inside.
Oh yeah, I thought so. I'm totally taking credit.
They're gonna be like, oh, somebody bought Crag. Crag, stop eating that man's leg!
I am here.
So you open the door and that's what you say?
Yep.
Alright. You see there have been 5 guys and they've all got their ale and there's some dogs like playing with the bone on the ground. And you can see they had been singing "And never their wives did know." And then you come in and they all
There's
look.
one guy at a piano who's just like,
They all look up. And one of them says, "And who are you?"
What's this?
did he fight a
Is
license
this a
rope
musical number?
recently?
Are we walking in a musical number? What's happening
I
right
feel like it's a musical number.
No one
I-
rips off Disney like Gaston.
The infamous
Yard
Donner,
sailor.
the yarn salesman
Well, as you
You just
can
hear
see,
Nullius go.
as you can see, and he gestures to the wall where antlers just are everywhere of all sorts of exotic creatures. And he says, "This is a place for hunters. You don't look like a hunter unless you're hunting for a boot in your butt." And they're all like, "Ah!" You don't laugh at that. Inspiration.
Well, I learned some of my hunting from my good friend Crag here.
Oh, someone was fool enough to buy Crag.
I don't know about fool. We'll see who's the fool. You know what I mean?
It's you.
Oh, well,
He's the canine version of overcompensating.
debatable.
Can I take out my small little baby puppy and set him on the floor and like give him some pats?
Now that's what you do. You buy a dog when it's still young and malleable. What you've done is,
Right?
well, you've bought hardened clay to make a statue.
Well, I think I'm molding it pretty dang good.
Well, that's not how statues work.
I don't, so I make yarn, not stone.
Well,
Yep.
this place is for hunters, so
So am I not allowed in?
you're allowed, but you're not welcome.
We're with her.
Very well.
Kind of looks you over.
What else? So it's kind of like stereotype.
Well, well.
And she is...
I am gonna play this part as like I don't get any of this. There is no flirting.
He says,
I don't understand what's happening.
What tree did you crawl out of?
In Norwayne,
The slave
I
trade.
say that's an odd question. People don't come from trees.
He says, in sort of a broken Guaironian, like he understood some of your words, and he says, well, of course. Elves do. That's right. I know a little bit about your people.
That's not true.
What language did you say that? in?
No, out of character,
Oh,
right?
that's not true.
Okay,
Just
I
in
was
her
like-
head, she's like, no, don't.
Yeah,
no,
so
don't.
I just look
That's-
very
no.
confused, and I gesture to the dogs, and I ask, what have you found is the best way to train,
What language is this?
train your dogs, Noreen? So he's not going to understand.
Well,
He gets
personally,
some-
I like to feed them my latest kill. And again, broken Guaironian.
Yes. So I'm also not really understanding.
I thought you spoke Guaironian. You're Guaironian, right?
Times feed
guess
them
I know.
dead thing.
Yeah. I turn to you all. I guess to you, because no one else. And I say, what is it we are supposed to be asking this
What
fine,
language do you ask that in?
upstanding gentleman?
Yeah, what language are you asking that in?
In-
Because he's picking up on it.
Well, yeah, I asked what we were supposed to be asking him, and he is a fine, upstanding gentleman.
Oh,
I
like
don't know
she's
why
not understanding
any
everything
of
he's
that.
saying.
Oh,
It's suspect.
incidentally, I don't understand what he's saying either.
You don't speak Guaironian.
Okay, so you're getting, like, because it's fractured Guaironian, you're getting, like, time, kill.
Well, I'm asking her why we are here. I don't know why that would be so suspicious. I don't understand why we were here.
Well, you asked.
Well, I know exactly why you're here, little lady. At least I can guess.
She's yours.
Stern! Let me have one for the lady.
Are you gonna?
You gotta fill something up.
Okay, I was about to say, is this a musical number? Is he gonna start playing piano?
I'm malicious, mean, and scary. No.
Okay, so he's
We're-
pouring me beer.
Yes.
Is that bad?
I haven't decided if I like it or not.
Well, too bad.
He says, for you.
I sort of look at it and I.
Drink it.
That's,
But I like cough a little bit. This is weird. I don't like this. But I feel like I need to be polite, so
Oh,
I'm
you've got it.
drinking it.
The first bit's always the hardest.
So anyway, what are we supposed to be asking?
we are looking for dissenters against the Bell. We heard they are here.
it was in broken Guaironian, so she just heard, this is a sex joke.
It was not intended to be.
It wasn't.
Everything
But it
he
did,
says
yeah.
comes across as, like, really...
It's the voice. You do anything in that voice. It's like I don't know what's happening.
What's
You
your
wanna go to
hardest
church?
Pardon me.
I'll take you to church. See?
Yeah.
I believe we are looking for dissenters.
Oh my
Well-
god. Oh my god.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh my
What?
god.
No, we're all staunch loyalists here, aren't we then? Staunch loyalists. And they'll go, aye, aye, staunch loyalists.
Ah, whatever.
No.
Beer, though.
And they drink some more. And he says, nobody loves the Baron like we do.
I got an insight 19. I'm pretty sure he's lying.
He's definitely on. Like, it's not even a question. It's
Those of us who didn't roll insight are like,
I very awkwardly place a hand on his shoulder, and I say,
what are you doing?
I would very much like to know this information, please, sir.
What information?
If you happen to know of someone who I might speak with privately about this.
You can speak with me privately anytime.
She walked right into
I apologize, but I must be accompanied by my friend Nolius here. Whatever his real name is.
Carter.
Carter.
He nods. He has no idea what you're saying. He just.
I gesture towards a room.
Let's get this three-way going.
He gives you a really weird look.
not like a room, but like a different room. A room where we could be a more private
I mean, it's just a longhouse. It's not. It doesn't. Like,
it's
doesn't
not.
have.
It's just like one house with a big table and the booze.
No.
Oh, guys, I don't know. This guy's an idiot.
That's not
My
language
friend
barriers are
throws a
helping.
good axe.
I like what?
I bet she could throw one better than you.
I can.
What? No one throws axes like Tandor.
I bet. But if she beats you,
Can I just throw one? Can I?
how about we be a little
Can I just throw
more
one while I say
honest with each other?
Go ahead. There's a target where there's like darts and stuff. Go ahead.
You
Terrible.
can play that if you need it.
Oh, can I? Oh, it's on your next attack roll.
You
Boom.
good?
She's playing a card that I gave her.
Oh, the other one was better. I got
Well,
one.
roll with advantage, dude.
She did.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the second roll.
Oh.
So the first one was a 12.
Okay. Your axe embeds itself in the thing, and a bunch of people look at Tandor and sort of go, and Tandor goes, right. He comes up and he hefts an axe off of, it's just sort of a small woodsman's axe, like meant for cutting saplings, basically. He grabs it off of some hooks on the wall, and he goes, and it embeds itself right next to yours, like they're parallel.
Hey, let me try.
No.
No? What?
Good
Looks
luck.
like it's your turn.
Consider yourself blessed by Loromir's light.
Oh, is that a D4?
Mm-hmm. Probably should have used that along with the advantage. But
Ooh, this one's way better.
oh, that is way better.
Ooh, so is his.
18 plus 6.
24.
Oh, okay. He only has a +5 to hit, and he also rolled an 18. His embeds itself, but a little farther away from center than yours.
So it's pretty darn close to center.
It's pretty darn close. You wanna go again?
I only have
You're
one
still
more.
blessed.
I mean, like, is he like?
There's so many
Have I won?
axes.
Has he
He's
decided that I
looking
won?
at you now. He's waiting for you.
Oh, that was pretty poor.
6.
So
12. Still pretty good.
His lands again almost parallel with yours. He says,
Well, you can throw an axe with the best of them.
Yeah, I say the same thing back to him, but about myself.
Little lady, I am the best of them.
You know, I might be even better. Let me
I
have a crack
don't
at it.
think you have any reason to do this.
you're not part of the contest.
You're just a yarn sims.
and all the guys in the room start laughing at you.
I have hobbies.
Is there another axe she can throw? Can she do it again?
No, I think we were good. I think
Three's a good number.
not
Yeah.
losing is probably the best.
Fair. You beat him once. I think you beat him or tied him basically all 3 times. Almost.
Yeah, tied twice and beat him once.
Wow.
That's
No.
right. That's right. We evenly matched. Well, anyway,
So,
I tell
a
him.
little more honest with each other then?
This is, well, there might be a few dissenters around here. And he kind of looks around and sort of shrugs. He says, depends on who's asking. And everybody in the room sort of stands up a little straighter.
We're no friends of the Barons.
No friends.
No.
Out of character, would be really funny if you were just like, yeah, we killed this.
And they're like, well, we were totally put here as a trap, idiot. Now we will shoot you in the face. And your monks out of axes.
I am. They're all on the wall. While he's talking, can I just go get those?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good, because I need those.
And he says, so what is it you've come here for?
Well,
Are they just like woodcutting?
They're just like woodcutting. They're not special.
I want them.
it occurs to me that no matter what side of the war you're on, nobody wants some freestanding upstart with a trebuchet full of alchemist fire in the middle of things.
My thoughts exactly.
So,
What are you
we're
gonna
trying
do?
to remove a freestanding upstart.
He says, well, we were just talking about what we were going to do. What we meant. And they'll go, aye,
We're
aye,
actually
aye,
singing, but what
aye. And then
He clinks his glass and he says,
boy.
we will march and we'll fight for the cause of good and right, though the odds of us surviving are ridiculously slight, and we'll stand proud and tall till they come to kill us all. Then we'll beg and plead and soil ourselves till one by one we fall. Some they'll hack, some they'll slash, some they'll bludgeon blue and black, some they'll gut from top to bottom, some they'll mangle front and back, and we'll all realize as they're gouging out our eyes that tomorrow we regret it, but today we rise. Right, boys, tomorrow we'll regret it, but today we rise. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rise.
Alright.
So,
This is the character. I'm so good.
Bravo! That was very well done.
so how many of you are there that are right?
Well, 5.
Well, and there's 4 of us, 5 with Nellius.
And that makes 10.
11.
Yep.
And to the dogs.
Crag.
Oh, I didn't count your dog. I counted my dog.
That's fantastic.
He says, well, if we're counting dogs, that gives us
I'm bad at math.
19.
Wow, you got a
There are a
lot of dogs.
lot of dogs.
7 dogs.
Wow.
I always said we'd have 6 or 7.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
We right.
How many guards does the Baron have that are
Roughly
loyal?
50 or so.
Oh.
No, direct combat, unfortunately, is not the way to go.
No.
This stag will have to stalk.
Mhm.
Bring him down from a distance without being seen.
That's not my forte.
Well,
I'm pretty good.
luckily, no one hunts like Tandor.
Right.
No,
So-
that's like Dandor.
Love him. But like in a I hate him kind of way.
Right.
So, what is your plan to stalk this stag?
We don't have one yet. We spent most of our time writing the song.
Ah,
It was very long. Yeah.
Oh, that was only the first verse.
did I mention that we're all disgraced rangers? We're let go because we're a bunch of morons.
We actually wanted to be bards, but
Turns out we suck at singing, but we're real good at shooting.
Well, yes. Well, we don't all suck at singing. That's mostly, mostly Ted over there. He says, but no, as I said, that's only the first verse. And the corpses will
I
rise
do
on.
not think that will be
Oh,
necessary.
well, all right. If you don't want to hear it,
it's very lovely.
all right.
I hope that this will not go as grimly as you predict.
Grimly, what we predict it goes gloriously.
Right. We will not fight alongside you as yarn salesmen either.
Oh,
Other hobbies.
What's that thing you're doing with your eye?
What?
Twitch.
Why does it ever work?
Because you tried it on two kind of dumb guys.
Dang it! It's like we won't go in his yard sale. It's so subtle.
Well, he's still an idiot. I don't think he got it.
Well, I do have one plan I've been cooking up.
What's that?
And he says, the Baron's keep is 3 stories tall. The first 2, policed by guards. The third, there's our way in.
So you got wings.
I don't have wings, no. But no one shoots a bow like Tandor.
I
plan to-
scoff at that.
You plan to shoot the Baron through a window?
Ha! No, nothing so crude. But,
Grappling hook.
bingo, good buddy.
I don't know what that word means, maybe. But whatever.
Good idea. So you got the rope.
I have all the rope I could need.
I would supply you with yarn, but I ran out.
He says,
You
"Yes."
are good for nothing.
How? I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I don't have any rope at the moment.
I do. I don't have 500 feet.
Oh, well, that's why I was saying he didn't, is because I wanted to give you your opportunity.
No,
Never
I
mind.
only
then.
have 50 feet.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of the other character. Who was
I'm
really-
short by
I
about
was too.
50
No, he
feet.
says he has all the rope then.
Oh, okay, good.
Just Haley at one point had said that she was gonna have like 500 feet of rope.
That was the barnyard bunch.
Oh, that was the barnyard bunch. Okay. She just mentioned that she had a ton of rope, and she was like, that way when someone's like, we need rope, she's like, I got this. I'm gonna do that.
She's just rolling around in a ball of yarn. I got it, guys.
It was
Oh,
the
but no,
only
yeah, I'm
thing
the
that-
Gordian Knight.
I could take the shot. They'd come
That was
after
the
me.
best joke ever.
But I think I could evade the guards. You'd have to get up there, of course.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Right.
I don't want Tandor to die.
Guards,
No
defeat
one-
Tandor. No one fights like Tandor.
I nod.
I feel
hope
like-
that's true.
Nobody does
My insight check wasn't
anything
very
like
good.
Tandor.
It was like a 7. So.
He definitely believes it.
I'm gonna.
Do you want to
pretend-
insight as well?
No, I want to feel. I feel like in my soul, I know it's not true, but
Okay.
I want to believe it. So I'm gonna believe it.
It's just a straight 13.
Can I give him this card?
You hear a slight break in his voice.
Oh no.
Can I give him a card?
He's pretty certain he couldn't take the guards that would come after him. Like, just judging by this break, you can tell that he's definitely doubting this, but he's willing to do it.
Can I give him a card?
Who,
Have him-
Tandor?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I give him the escape card?
Let me see.
No one runs impressively from a fight like
All right, yeah.
Cool. So I gave him a card that basically means that he can use it to escape, and then his enemies will be so distracted that they can't follow him.
Man, that guy has an impressive run. That was really. We should chase
You
him.
know what? I'm
We
not
always
even
talk.
gonna do anything.
Hopefully that doesn't mean those guards then focus their attention on us.
Well, we're not going to be.
No, they're
We're in the
like,
building, right?
wow, that was amazing, and then they don't come. They're caught up.
That was a good shot.
No, they'll go after them. They'll wait for them to come and then
Right.
flee.
So,
hopefully.
we get an arrow, get some rope. We're the 3rd story. We go up there, deal with the Baron.
Well, the Baron's room's on the 2nd floor.
Ah,
But the 3rd floor, I believe, is just the tower. That's where I'll be putting you.
what's in the tower?
I don't know.
Good. Well,
Let's do it.
better than nothing.
Let's stretch our wings.
I can't see this going poorly.
I am petting my dog.
I'm wishing I had armor.
Everyone had something cool to say and I didn't, so I just wanted to be petting the dog.
It just the camera cuts to you eyes just. What?
Exactly.
Up and away.
Well, we do this tonight then?
Sounds good.
Nullius says,
Oh yeah.
Very well. Then we do it tonight. We'll find this Baron and put an end to his madness.
What?
Period.
Let's do it
That's it
tonight.
tonight.
alright. Is there anything else you want to do today?
I want to try and tame my doggy a little better.
Okay.
Well, I was
You can do it
surprised-
once per week. You can.
I was surprised he didn't do his voice. I was like, oh crap. I was like, what's he doing? But other than that, I didn't say anything out loud.
I mean, you already told these guys what you're doing here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
debated,
then
but
And kept up the facade.
yeah, well, we both did. So
I tried to give you an out by speaking in common.
Yeah.
But didn't
Oh,
know how to
did you
do it.
really?
Yeah.
No. Thaddeus is just relishing the opportunity to practice the native accent. He's working on it.
Oh, good.
I have proficiency in performance, so I'm trying to, work on it.
He says,
Right. Then meet me tonight. By Terran's yard. Terran owes me a favor. He won't be there.
Very well.
So it's just a yard.
It's no longer his. Oh, yes.
It's the only place close enough to the keep where you'd be able to get up there quickly.
You and your people won't be there.
I'm sorry?
Is it just you?
Just me.
No, all
I
right.
don't want to endanger the boys.
Hey, I get that.
A distraction could be in order.
We don't want to draw more attention to ourselves than need be.
Not to ourselves.
I'll have... Ted, you're the worst singer. And... Oh, I'll leave you out of this. One guy goes,
Oh, I thought
and then there's another guy, and he goes, Jareth.
I was hoping to be Jimothy.
Just some guy is like, yeah! Oh, that's what a Jimothy looks like.
Well, the two of you will try to draw the guards away. Do you remember the maneuver we used before?
And they nod and they say, "Oh yeah, when we all pretend to be hurt." And he,
It's help!
and he goes,
Right. You'll try to draw the guards away. Maybe they won't notice the shot. That'll let these get over the wall without raising the alarm. Hopefully.
Let's do it.
There is an alternative if you'd like to think about it. The alchemist is making more of that fire. He said the guards are coming to get it just tonight. One of you could throw some fire at it, light it up, take his shop with it. That'd pull a lot of guards out of the tower.
he looks back at the guy who told him didn't have to do anything.
Matthias.
Matthias is like, I'm going to die.
That's what he says.
Does he hold the dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a
And
great
he's
singer.
got a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
temper.
I hope not.
Well then. Through the mist and the woods and the darkness and the shadows. It's a nightmare, boys, but it's one exciting ride. Let's do it.
Huzzah!
Right.
Huzzah!
Well then, to the nighttime.
All right. Well, nighttime comes, and remind me which weapons you all have.
I have an
I have a
axe.
spear,
I have
and
three.
Sam has my shield.
Oh, maybe you have
Yeah.
4.
I have a bow.
don't know what they took from me.
You have a pick, I think, is what you
I
want.
think you did take the war pick.
Oh, that's right. I did.
Oh, I forgot my axe is way better now.
"Yeah, he's got the old room."
Yeah, 2d6 plus 4.
Their target's on fire.
I used it different. I used all 3 of them. Their targets on back.
So you meet him at the appointed place at the appointed time, and he's standing there and he says,
Once I get you in, there won't be any going back. I warrant almost everyone you find inside will be your foe.
Ready check? Ready check.
Mm.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I get my war pig.
He says,
I just. Yeah.
"All right. Well, then we wait for the signal." And he knocks an arrow but doesn't draw. Waits. And he waits. A huge explosion engulfs the alchemist shop. Basically takes a shot as several guards go running. The arrow clangs into the wall with a thud. The hook sort of hitting on the other side of the window and pulling. He pulls it taut and he says, "Right." And he holds it and he says, "Start climbing."
Oh, God.
Ladies first.
He's the foundation. Oh no.
You are so good at this.
I am so good at this.
What-
What is this?
Athletics.
Athletics.
Ooh.
Can
Why
she
can't I
acrobatics?
Can I do some cool flips?
To like balance along the top of it?
You could probably
Tightrope it?
you could probably
Come on,
get on
it's
there
an elf
and,
for
and you
walking
could
over snow.
do hand over hand
Yeah, I got
underneath.
9.
You could do that with an acrobatics.
I did 9 with acrobatics.
Wow.
Ugh.
But that's with the 3. I went from a 3 to a 9. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
nice. I'm gonna go plain Jane athletics on this
Okay.
one. They're both the same for me.
10. Okay, so the DC was 10.
Nice. Then
Wow.
I got a 17.
All right.
23 for mine.
Okay.
Wow.
So as UI is hand over hand, sort of going along, one of her hands slips and she starts to fall. One of you two, starting with you, can make a strength check, flat strength, to try to grab her.
Okay.
I
Let's
don't
go,
think
let's
he
go.
would. I don't think in character he would.
Right, so let's hope the dice does what I told it to do. Oh, poopy.
You did well.
I got 21.
Do you want me to do it?
Alright.
I got a 18.
I just kind of point to you. 'Cause
Okay.
I see that she's about to fall.
All right, you can
Yeah,
take
You're
it.
closer.
Yeah, you're doing the warlord thing.
Yeah, you
Look
got
at
her.
her!
All right. You got her, and you're kind of holding her by one hand, and you've got the rope by your other, and you're just sort of lift
I was trying
her
to be
up.
flashy. I was trying to
Don't make
do
noise.
some cool flips and stuff, and I didn't work.
Don't fool yet. We still need you.
All right, roll me another athletics check, or another athletics, and I need one new one from you as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's it gotta be athletics?
It could be acrobatics if you're
19.
still doing the same thing.
I'm
Good.
good.
I'm still doing some cool flips. Lots of cool flips are happening. 8 plus 6.
14.
14. All right. So you make it
16.
up into that room there
Glad I didn't have to jump
third
off a cliff
floor.
to save you again, Haley.
of the tower.
Is it like anywhere?
Anywhere in that room.
Well, thank you for
You
joining
come
us.
in. Basically, you're behind. Actually, on my left here,
And on
behind
the
that curtain. You see that there's a curtain there.
Haha, you're gonna stand there.
What?
I
Yeah.
was being mean to Nick.
Oh, are we gonna have Nullies? Is he with us?
Yeah, Nully's with you as well. Here he
million
is.
Man.
All right.
We don't have DeCavio with us.
You
There's
don't.
no
No.
room for him.
He was a cool
We're
guy.
hanging out the window.
So, you find yourselves behind this thick curtain.
What can we hear?
We'll open the curtain from
Wait.
the end here.
Currently, you hear nothing as you sort of open the curtain. You see that you're in an opulent chamber. You can see on the northern curtain there is. I lost my thing. Oh, you can see a breathtaking image of the mountains stretching the length of the chamber. Its peaks apparently lit by the rising sun. From the sides, you can see
Is that you?
similar images stretching from one end of the room to the other, like colossal windows depicting more mountains deep in the violets and purples of twilight. A long rug edged in tassels leads up to a black marble dais, upon which sits a statue of a man in spiked plate armor with a sword in one hand and a crow perched atop the other. More silver ravens engraved in the wall behind it, these are ravens, not crows, appear to fly in an arc starting to either side of the statue and meeting at a point above it. 4 slender black marble columns near the center of the room rise to a 15-foot high ceiling, covered in a huge mural of hundreds of black carrion birds with blood-stained beaks, taking down a mountain lion covered in dozens of small bleeding wounds.
Do the columns look kind of like those columns?
They do.
They're just over here.
He just only had 4 columns.
In fact, I actually have more, but I didn't have enough for every floor.
Right on.
But we will move them for verisimilitude.
Cool, I'll take a picture.
Look at that. We got columns.
Y'all want to see what this looks
We got
like?
curtains and columns and
Head on
windows.
over to our Instagram.
to the Instagrams.
Okay, wait, stop.
Yep, stuff to look at. We don't have yarn,
Hang on. Never had yarn.
but if one of us could crochet, we would
Never seen
totally.
yarn.
I have yarn. You want me to
We
knit
should
some
start.
out?
We should start doing that.
I know how to knit. I can bring some yarn out.
Yeah, just Donner's
The yarn giveaway.
fine goods. All right,
I'll knit a sweater, and then there you go.
there you go. Perfect. All right. So there's a big creepy mural and an altar. Well, it's because it got a
No,
statue.
it's just a statue. It's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not an altar.
It's just a dais.
Yeah.
Or dais. How are you supposed to?
Dais.
Dais.
I'd like to check out the statues. They appear pretty new.
No, it's actually it looks fairly old. Although
Interesting.
roll me an investigation check
Absolutely.
or perception, I guess.
Investigation.
Can I help him out? I'm gonna look at it as well, just for the age of the stonework itself.
Sure.
Does it help?
Yeah.
Nice. It'll be good. Wow, 13.
Should've
Yeah,
let me do
so
it.
the crow perched on the arm is new.
Ah,
The rest of it is not.
that's kind of what I was most curious about.
Yeah.
So it's just been sort of attached.
Yeah.
Can I wiggle it?
Yeah, you can, and in fact, it seems bolted onto the
Oh,
statue.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And in fact, it comes off, and it's a +3. Oh.
It's a +3 crow bludgeon.
bullets.
Only works when you throw it underhand, so you can flip someone the bird. With a little forest.
And this is like a rug or thing?
Yeah.
It's got a crow on it. Can you see it?
Yeah, sure enough.
I can.
Yeah.
So if I look, is there anything behind these
Oh,
curtains,
yeah.
or is it just more
Did you
windows?
draw those?
Well, as you look behind that curtain, there's just windows. But as you look behind that northern curtain,
There's one weird one.
you can see that the wall here, instead of being angled like it is outside,
The rest of the wall.
there's just this flat wall here.
Mm.
Okay, what's it made of?
It's made of a very similar stone to the rest of it.
All right. Well, I'd like to investigate that stone.
All right, sure.
As a dwarf, I have the good old stone cunning,
That's pretty good.
which is it's going to enable me to have a +7. So that's 20.
20?
Dang, +7?
Yeah, it's that silly stone cunning feature
You
Does that
can,
just give you advantage?
and expertise
Dang, no, that's really good. That's really
so you,
when related to stone.
good. Right.
you
It's
can
very
see as you search across the stone,
Still a dwarf.
you can see that there's one smoother sort of section, small section.
Right. If I feel around, do I find something that seems like it would shift or move or something?
All you find is one small smooth section about for you, a little above your head.
This looks different. Smoother. It doesn't move from here, but the crow thing, we can't move it in any dynamic fashion. It just kind of jiggles.
It was
Or can
bolted.
it
Yeah, it
was
just
bolted?
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to wiggle it and it was like bolted.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd be like a fancy torch sconce thing.
Can I knock on it?
On the crow?
On the smoother spot.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it depresses a tiny bit as you knock on it.
Oh, so can I give it a push?
And as you do, as you push, it's just like about hand size.
Never mind, it moves like that.
As you give it a push, the wall there sort of slides open, and you can see that there's a staircase leading up behind it.
Leading
Oh,
up.
oh! What was meant to be up from here?
Ooh.
Just more of the tower, I guess.
I guess so.
Wow.
It seems.
Let's go.
that
Let's
this?
go. Let's go. Yeah,
We
that
have
looks
to
like what
look.
we do.
All right.
Alright, dwarves first now, huh?
Yeah, dwarf is first.
Should you go first? You're a wizard.
I'm also
dwarves
the
first.
second hardest to hit right now.
Mm-hmm. That's
Right.
true.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, and can Sam have poofed out of not a flower to give me my shield, and then poofed back to flower?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So,
He's scared.
My AC is 11.
four
He doesn't
slender
bounce it.
black marble columns near the corners of this large octagonal chamber supported 20-foot high ceiling. Lanterns affixed to a chain running the length of the ceiling bathe the chamber in a harsh red light, while long bookshelves occupy the east and west walls, and a pair of large wooden chests sit against the southern wall. Two work tables one of which holds a variety of glassware, clamps, and bloody rags, as well as scraps of parchment, while the other holds all sorts of strange implements, as well as 2 large basins of salt are in this room. In the center of the room, you can see that salt has been sprinkled in a huge circle around a corpse that's lying in the center of the room.
Awesome. Would you like to see about how long that has been here?
Does it stink?
Me?
No, not particularly.
Don't
I'll do it
think
later.
she
And in
should
fact, you
cross
recognize
it.
this now as the corpse of one of the men hanging from the gibbet.
Oh.
I don't think we should cross that.
Is there smoke?
I'd like to use Divine Sense real quick.
Yeah.
Is this place super
unhallowed.
desecrated and bad? Yeah, I don't think we should cross that. We should leave it where it is.
Oh. The corpse?
The circle.
What circle?
Circle of salt that's around the corpse.
I know what you're talking
What
about.
mad ritual is this?
Can I poke it?
The salt?
No, like, I don't know.
The corpse?
I got a
It's inside
broom.
of the circle.
Can I poke the corpse inside the circle?
Yeah, you poke it and it.
I look to you and I say, what if I break the circle?
I don't know.
I've never seen anything like this.
I'm so curious.
If you would.
And I use the
Can
end
we
of
check the
the broom.
like break
the
the
broom
circle?
Not
bit?
the broom bit,
Not the broom bit.
the handle bit.
To break the circle.
Alright.
Oh,
And as you do so, the corpse's eyes snap open and they're just this black, smoky
I
void.
quickly push the salt back.
Right? You hear, who then are you?
Yay.
And the creature's mouth,
I
the
turn the
corpse's
broom.
mouth is moving, but it's not
I-
moving the way it should to make those sounds.
I turn the broom back to where you use a regular
Like it's a
broom, and I
too
would
old
start
video game?
sweeping and
Yeah.
not the salt, and I just go, housekeeping.
Clever,
And I just
little
start
one.
backing up a little bit.
By the way, it's not speaking common, but you all understand it.
Housekeeping.
You give her too much credit. Too much credit.
Housekeeping.
Um,
What are you?
I'm gonna take my action to be sort of unwrapping the spear that I'm holding while it's talking. Not in any particularly aggressive fashion. I'm just kind of tossing the wrapping out of the way. I'm trying to look unconcerned. I'm freaked out.
Also,
Let's see how well I did. Not very well. I was a 13. No, a 14. Excuse me.
Excuse me, kind sir. I apologize for interrupting your slumber, but quick question. What is with the birds?
The birds. The birds are mere messengers. But I am a prisoner of the Baron here. Free me so that I may help you.
How would we free you?
And what help would you give?
Yes. What help?
I would help you kill your target.
Which is?
The Baron, of course.
And then?
Then we go our separate ways.
And how would we free you?
He starts to stand, and as he stands, he doesn't use his hands to help push him up. His legs just sort of pull him into place as he stands up, and he says,
The soul.
But what would you do afterward?
We would go our separate ways.
What would you do?
You keep saying you. Who is you?
I am other. I am that which you do not know.
Can you give us a name?
Spooky.
A name.
Spooky.
Such a mortal concept.
Alas, that is what we are.
You may call me what you will. There are those who have called me Bukavet.
Yes!
Thanks, Ivo. Your familiar is going to kill us now.
Nice.
Yay!
Nice.
Sorry I ruined this game for you guys.
It's okay. It was you and Morgan working together, though
Yay!
unknowingly.
consider that bird.
Hey, I was before.
Were you?
Were you?
I don't know.
This timeline is buggered.
Anyway.
I'm not religious, but
I'm gonna
this
call him Buki.
doesn't seem ideal. No offense.
Do you fear that which you do not know?
Partly.
All men do.
Well, the voice doesn't really help.
He says, it is simply a matter of the inability of this form to convey true language.
Let me roll insight on that, because...
Can I have a bird?
8.
The birds are freed.
Oh.
They are not mine to give.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's totally fair. Scary, sir, man. That's
And
fair.
if not in this
Yeah,
form,
another from
what
that.
form would you prefer to take?
For
You mentioned that this form is not the language.
this mortal form. I have no form. We are formless,
Smoke monster.
unshapen, unfinished.
Speaking of unfinished, why don't you finish what you started? Figure a way out.
For him or for us?
For us.
Alright, excuse me, kind sir, we just need a moment. And then, like, group huddle. Alright, guys.
You should have stayed sold.
What are we doing? What's going on?
Where is it that you come from? I've sort of resisted the huddle.
Elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Home of the cheat. He says,
Elsewhere. We have wares if you have coin.
he says,
You would not understand it.
Then how have you come here?
I do not know. Brought by something. Someone. We do not belong here.
So you were summoned against your will.
He's breaking the huddle too.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be in that.
you always like, why is
You're
there
doing
a
nothing,
huddle?
son. What is this for?
And
Yes.
break! Go team!
Summoned, yes. Summoned by this lord of this castle.
Surely you have the power to get out yourself?
No. No. Or if I do not know it.
he again looks down at his hands and he says,
I do not know what powers this shape possesses.
What if we simply killed this man again? Would you simply go back to where you came from?
Perhaps.
So there's more than one option.
But perhaps not. I have not been here since before.
Before what?
Before the great voyagers came from beyond.
Which voyages?
The great voyagers. Before the light lit up the sky.
The gods. Yours. I guess.
Gods. Perhaps.
Whom we think of as gods. What? What are you thinking?
Such a strange thing you mortals do to worship another.
I don't understand it myself.
I kind of walk closer to those chests over there. Treasure.
Just
Oh
as
yeah.
having broken the
Hey,
huddle,
let's just poke
Bossy
everything.
Y walks over to the chest.
Well, I'd slowly. I'm waiting for if he like says like don't do that, or if he like
He
starts
probably
to
doesn't
come
care
out
at
of the
all.
salt. I'm gonna not do that.
I tell you to stop. Stop right now. Don't you move. You don't touch anything.
Come on. I'm just kidding.
You hug that pillar and you don't move.
Calling out where the chest has a gust of wind trap in it.
I'm gonna try to mage hand open this chest.
Alright.
Hey,
The-
I
the
didn't
one
do
closer
it.
to us.
It wasn't me.
It opens. I didn't think it'd be locked. We're behind a secret door. Why would
Yeah.
they lock them?
Yeah,
What's
it
up?
opens.
Can we see from here?
Inside, you can see that there's more books and scrolls and things.
That's cool.
I'm
Wizard
curious.
stuff.
Straight curious.
Alright, so as you head forward, you can see several of them are spell books and scrolls and all sorts of strange things. In fact, looking over the room, essentially what you find throughout this collection
That's what I was gonna ask.
is the Book of Lost Spells.
Just
The Book of Lost Spells.
What?
if we had a bag of holding, you'd be a happy little camera.
So what is that?
That's the book of Lost Spells.
It's an unofficial
That's what I want.
addition
Oh, fair
to
enough, yeah.
5th edition D&D. It's like 200 new spells
whole
or
lot of
something.
spells.
It's a whole bunch.
I wish I was
In
a
this,
spellcaster.
in the chest, you also find in addition to spell scrolls and books and things, one of the books that's in there seems to be like some sort of scientific or magical manual where they're discussing how to, like, this guy, it seems like he's got several methods and there are pages torn out and things scribbled out and crossed out, and there's some that are like circled and checked and all sorts of things, where it looks like he's in the process of piecing together body parts from different creatures, and but mostly humanoid creatures.
Oh no.
Dr. Victor something.
Like a freaking
Okay.
flesh
Freaking
going on.
That's that's
Bad.
That's
I disagree
awesome.
with that.
What?
Yeah.
What's in the other box?
I would not be happy with that. So that's not cool.
I'll probably take that. Better in my hands than whoever was writing it.
Honestly, I want to take one of the
I didn't
tomes
notice.
as well, just to kind of read over.
I mean, there's so many spell
So many.
tomes.
Yeah, I just want to take one. I don't
Yeah,
care which
sure,
one.
just grab one.
I just want to read it at night.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Oh, but you know
Just
what?
out of curiosity, when I divine
Yeah.
sensed it,
Do that.
were there
Spells.
a couple of books that did not seem unhelpful? Were there paladin spells in the area?
yeah, right.
I mean, there's all the Book of Lost
Yeah, the
Spells.
book of Lost
Right.
Spells.
There are
So
paladin
there are
spells.
some.
I
Sorry.
think I have.
Nullius is kind of looking through the shelves, and he sees one and he says, "These are spells." He says, "But look here. This is no spell I know, and a prayer even." And he's looking at several, and it's very strange how all of these are just
Here.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
He
But
says
I'll take one of the ones that seems like it's
like a prayer book.
like a prayer
Okay,
book.
sure.
I'll just stuff as many scrolls as
Just
I can.
carry them
I've
on.
got a scroll case. That's pretty much what I can hold.
All
I
right.
got a couple bags if you want to just.
Just shovel books in.
Okay,
You seek knowledge.
Knowledge is power, they say.
be careful.
Yes. Yes, it is.
We agree with each other. Yes, I will open the other chest.
I will open the other
Alright.
chest thing.
In the other chest.
Imagine probably more books. Scrolls.
59 methods.
Oh,
This is the worst.
This one was trapped.
in this chest you
It's the
find some
stupidest
scrolls.
trap ever.
Some scrolls specifically for sleep. 2 sleep scrolls. 3 skulls. Skulls. 3 scrolls of what's that spell? Is it gentle repose that keeps? Yeah,
Oh,
gentle
yeah.
repose. 2 of hold person.
You're weird.
1 of feeble mind.
Whoa.
Dang.
Jesus.
And then 3 scrolls that you don't recognize.
And not Book of Lost Spells either?
Not Book of Lost Spells.
Wow. Do they appear to be identical, or are they different?
They're slightly different, and you'll recognize them next Monday. You'll be able to interpret them, what they do.
Neat.
So if that gives you any clue about where they come from.
Yeah, choose one of the 11 languages.
Oh, come on, dude.
Xanathor's Guide. They come
From Xanathar.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
Oh, is it that? Is it when that comes out?
It comes out at WP in stores on Friday.
We got pre-ordered, so I'll have it.
Well, if you
But
put it
it'll
on
later.
Amazon,
Yeah, it'll
that's
be
like
later.
the 21st.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Listen, our companion did this on accident, and she should be rightly punished for it. But
Should not.
What did she do?
Trying to let loose something she didn't understand.
she poked things that she didn't know
I
about.
was curious. I was thirsty for knowledge.
And now we have learned. I think we are saying we would like to leave you to yourself.
You wish not to aid me as I will aid you.
I think what he is trying to say is that we will try the second route you suggested, where we deal with the Baron, and perhaps that will set you free.
We're a little hesitant because we're afraid of the consequences of letting you free, honestly, if I may be plain.
To use your own words, that which we do not know.
Yes, yes, that which you do not know. And yet often that which we do not know is our greatest friend and ally.
True, but the risk is a little too great.
Nullius says, I agree. Something like this. It can animate a corpse, but not mindless as the fallows have it. This is not holy.
He looks back to the Nullius, and he says,
Holy. You cling to your gods and your faith. But they are imaginings of a lonely mind. He says, right. Well, I'll cling to my imaginings then.
If you think that their gods are nothing, I really don't want to let you out.
I don't think little of their gods. I think them false. I think them non-existent.
Thaddeus?
Right. Well, riveting conversation. It has been a pleasure. We will make our way elsewhere.
And to my slumber I return.
Good night.
the body immediately just sort of. If you've seen that scene in Return or in the Two Towers when Frodo sees the Witch King and he's up on the tower and his legs just sort of like fall out from under him and he collapses on the wall. That's what this body does.
Okay.
There we go. Well, that's something. That is something.
Definitely
So-
didn't want to let him out.
Don't know how we're gonna deal with that.
No.
We're gonna have to destroy that while it's in the circle.
If we burn it, there won't be a problem.
Well.
Yep.
Maybe.
Only discourse now. I don't know of any other way to purify this place.
We do have a tinder
Oh
stick.
no. This place should definitely burn.
No.
Let us definitely.
From that creature, what did I feel? The same thing as the birds, but really scary.
Yeah.
Was it worse than the ones in the room in the hall?
In the hall were the birds,
That's the birds that you started.
and so
those
they
two
were
birds.
little,
It felt
but
exactly
scary.
like
Hey,
But-
hey.
bigger.
Just a large bird. entity.
Bukovac.
It's Bookie.
Why don't we make use of these tinder sticks that you have procured?
Not yet. We haven't found the alchemist fire. If
Yeah,
there was
so
ever a
we need
building that deserved to burn.
Well, it has 4 uses, right? We
Well,
could take care of this.
We shouldn't.
You think you-
Not the
burn a
room,
building.
the body.
You think you could burn that body with a tinder stick? You didn't see what I saw, elf. It's not of this world.
The
Looking
body
at this,
is mortal.
The body.
Yeah, but then what happens?
The body's
when you
burned.
Then you unbind it.
Do you?
Whatever it is.
That's going off of what he thinks. I don't know what would happen, but either way, we're going to have to burn it.
I don't know either.
If we leave
That's
it here,
why I'm concerned. It's not something I've ever seen before.
It's
Not
not
something
something
I've ever read
anyone's
about.
ever seen before. But there is mention of something in the Apocrypha.
Of?
The Apocrypha of the Book of Loramir.
Right, what
Do I
does
remember the
it...
passage he's talking about?
I don't know. Have you ever read the Apocrypha?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, my education would have been pretty
He says.
far-reaching.
He says
They want the silencers to be well-versed.
There were tales, though they have long since been cast aside as blasphemous and false. Tales of a great host of Loramir's light. Before this world was shaped and formed, before the light touched every corner of it, there were spirits here. But Loramir's host drove those spirits away, banished them to elsewhere. It is said that in this great war, some of the spirits grew too aggressive. They took on the traits of their foes, fought with them, tooth and nail. And when they returned, Loramir would not allow them a place in his light. And so he banished them too. But those tales, the church preaches them as old falsehoods of a less developed people.
And yet, they are in the book.
No,
The book, well, the
they're in the
Apocrypha.
Apocrypha.
But it was attached.
Still a part of Loramir, is it
Divinely
not?
inspired.
I don't know. As
There
I
is
said,
the
it's in
part.
the Apocrypha. An apocryphal text is one that is not considered to be a part of the book.
A heresy in part,
Alright.
perhaps. But perhaps not in full. I don't know.
Or perhaps the church was wrong.
Are you saying that this here is a spirit?
I can't think of what else it would be.
It came from elsewhere. Formless. Nameless.
It said it
Cursed.
came before the light.
He did.
It matches the old stories, measure for measure.
This place must burn.
So we'll burn it after we're done.
Yes.
We can wait a few more minutes.
I certainly hope no one else comes up here and breaks the circle.
The only one who would know.
Can we close the
Bear.
secret wall after we come back?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
And as you get ready to head back downstairs, Nullius pulls you aside, Thaddeus, and he says,
There's one more thing the text said.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, Loramir walked among his host. These spirits wounded him to such an extent that he could take his shape no longer.
I remember.
If these spirits could do that to the Lord of Light, what could they do to us?
And that's where we'll call our session today. Tune in next week to find out what exactly they can do to us.